Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Excuse me. Just getting all set up here for today's live build. Let's get into it. So, yes, just coming off of a live build that I was doing over on my channel. Not a live build, a live stream, not building. Complete critique. So I had to grab a bite of food, and now we're ready to build the Monument EX. So this is a kilt, but this is a kilt. This is not a kilt, but in fact, this is a kit that I have. I have live built this kit before, the original Monument kit, all in one go, and it was like a 5-hour stream or something, and we're not gonna do that this time, especially because this has even more stuff, so it's gonna take even longer to build. But considering that I've built the kit before, it should kind of, building the same kit for the second time should go a little bit quicker, but there's more parts, so it'll probably even out. Ultimately, anyway, this is going to be a 2-part stream. Gonna be today and then tomorrow at the same time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. So come back tomorrow. We won't really get to much new aspects of the kit today because the wings and the weapons are in the later part. So mostly what we're going to be building today will be like the body. And then, yeah, most of that is the same. We have a couple new parts for the shoulders, a couple new parts for the head. And that's really kind of about it in terms of new parts for today's live build. But it's all in, not all new colors. I guess mostly new colors, I think. Some of the frame bits might be in the same like color of gray. I can't recall, but... Okay, so without any further ado, let's get into it. But I want to invite you guys as you're watching along, because it's going to be a little bit of a longer build. Please feel free, if not inclined, to ask questions throughout the build. Maybe not necessarily about the build in particular, but anything that you like, just so that I have more to talk about, because it's going to be a long one here today. Planning on about 2.5 hours, something like that, probably. Hopefully that should get us a good ways into the build. But what's up? All right. Seeing as how the head is relatively small, we're missing like the crest part, which I unfortunately put like underneath some other stuff, so we'll get back to that in just a second. But let's get underway. This center part here is in 2-tone yellow, which is kind of hard for you guys to see, but the center part is in like a more orange yellow. The outer part is a different color of yellow. Okay, I'm gonna have to dig. This other part for the main crest, I kind of buried underneath because it didn't fit in that section of head parts there, and I buried. I think what my plan was, now thinking back, was I was going to build the torso first and hadn't thought of the fact that I was actually going to be building the head first. We could swap it up, but we might as well follow the instructions. Anyway, here's the clear part for the crest. You do have all the parts for the original crest, and you can choose to use that if you prefer. I'm not sure why you would, if you just really liked the look of the original crest more. I definitely prefer this one though, so I'm gonna stick with this one. That was one thing about the original kit that I didn't really particularly like about that, was the head crest on it. I didn't like that it was like clear red. It was kind of odd. Can you build any change along MGEX kits? I don't know exactly what that means, I'm sorry to say. Alright. Okay, so there's that. We do still have the little heart on the front of like the face, sort of, as it were. And one thing that I am curious about with this, so I had heard what other people had heard, which was the information that they put out. I don't know how it came out or what was the circumstances of this information being known, but basically it became known at one point, and I heard it, that after the release of the after the release of the monument, that apparently Nilson Works destroyed the molds. I'm not sure whether that was, for different reasons, but so apparently that if that's correct, for this release they had to remake the molds. But while I was going through the parts to just prepare all the parts for the live build, it doesn't feel like they remade the molds, because you would think that if they remade the molds that they would be cleaner. And I did notice a bit of flash and mold lines and stuff on some of the parts, on a lot of the parts, and not like a bunch of flash. Basically what I mean, if you guys don't know what I'm referring to, is like extra bits of plastic along like the mold lines and stuff. And it's not a big deal. It's just kind of takes a bit more cleanup, especially if you're planning on painting. I would anticipate spending more time on the cleanup on this kit. And so anyway, it just kind of made me felt like, I wonder if this is really just the same mold that they reused, or if they really remade the mold. I'm not sure. I mean, if it's the same mold, that's fine. It really doesn't matter. I was just imagining that if they were going to do that, they would have probably had less like mold lines and stuff on some of the parts. So I'm not sure. Either way, if you're planning on like painting a kit like this, I think you already kind of know that you're in for a good amount of work. So I'd hope that just telling you that you're also going to have to do a good amount of like extra mold line sanding and anything like that. I mean, like you know, if you're planning on painting the kit, you're going to be doing a lot of sanding anyway. So anyway, it is what it is. But I did notice that. So I just left a little bit like extra kind of nub on these tiny little parts here for the Vulcans, just to kind of help to not lose them, ideally. I also finally swept my floor yesterday here in my office, not in anticipation of this build or for any other reason other than just that it really needed it. If you guys saw the last live stream with Adam and I think it was like our last live stream last Friday, I think he commented about how dirty my floor was. Yes, there was a thick layer of just nubs. I think I probably swept up about a pound of plastic off the floor. Have you got a chance to see Cobra Pla's contest entry in person? No. Where would I be able to see it in person? You're talking about the beach scene? Took me a second to get this Vulcan in. I want to make sure that it's in there all the way. Okay. Where are we? Okay. Face vents. Back of the head. No. Hooduder. No, I have not. How would I be able to see it? Does he like have it on display like somewhere? Are we gonna get 1/100 scale G-Quox third-party kits? I'm not sure about that. I mean, like, we're seeing, I mean, a good amount of like third-party interpretation of Gundam kits, like this being an example of Gundam designs, I guess I should say. This being an example of that, but G-Quox, I'm not sure if that's something that like a lot of people are like really wanting. I mean, like, obviously it's popular, but I mean, with these kits primarily being manufactured in China, you have to imagine like that's that's what they're thinking about most in terms of like the target audience. And I don't know how popular G-Quox was as a series in China, but here's the head. Oh, there you go. One of the few like new parts of this build that you're going to see in today's live stream, but it does look really good, I gotta say. Looks nice. Godfinger is currently printing a 160 G-Quox Gundam. He would. I saw, I think it was, I saw Samuel Decal sharing a couple of like 1/35 scale Unicorn and Banshee builds, and I wondered if those were Godfinger's builds, but I didn't see him credited, and I wasn't totally sure. There was like someone in the video, but like wearing like a Zaku mask, and I've never seen Godfinger wear that. And he didn't look like he was showing off his muscles, so I wasn't sure if it was him or somebody else. Okay, so now we're on to the torso. I'm gonna zoom it out a bit because now we've got a bunch more parts. The Sazabi he shared was a Sunaris build scaled up, straight copy. Okay, I don't know if I saw the Sazabi. And I should also, I do have an extra bag, oops, that has a hole in it apparently. A bag of some more parts that didn't fit. Some of these I know is like for the wings. Hang on, give me a second to reorganize my stuff. A bag of some parts that were too big to fit in the box, so I had to put them separately. And I know there's some torso pieces in here, a couple of them anyway. Not that one. That one. And I swear there was one more. Hard to see in this bag. These are for the shield. That's for tomorrow. Well, there was another part from the torso, I thought, in here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just that one. Okay. All right. Not that one. It's gonna be. Not that. All right, I'm just kind of getting everything spread out so I can see what I'm looking at here. I'll be careful with the V-fin too. these two big parts there. And will you do a review of the metal frame for the MG EX Strike Freedom? No. Next month on President's Day weekend, he is also the showrunner for that event. Oh, what's the event? Sorry. He brought it to a couple of shows on the West Coast. I think the next time will be at Model Mania Museum of Flight in Seattle. That's a bit far for me. I won't be making it out that way. I can tell you that. Where's this? Okay, it's this part right here. Is that? That's the other side of that. Then we need this. Okay, my scale's all wrong. I think I was looking for parts here in the manual thinking that they were going to be much larger than they actually are. Because I think this part that we're building presently is for the neck. Did the stream cut out for you guys for a moment there? It did on my end. I hope that it didn't for you guys. All right. I know that this one goes here. It's another small light gray piece. Where is it? Of course, it's always the first piece that's like hard to find. Ah, there it is. Can't wait to get my hands on this kit and the Lupus Rex from Wolf Technology. Any idea when we'll be receiving that one? For those of us that pre-order, I saw you reviewed the Barbatos recently. Yes, so supposed to be getting that either the end of January, beginning of February. Originally, we were thinking beginning of February, but I think we might get it before the end of January. So around that time for the Lupus. For this, it's going to be a little bit later. I think this is coming a little bit later in February, but sometime in February, I think is when we're expecting to receive this kit. You know, things are always subject to change too. I mean, just depending on what's going on with the shipping. I mean, we know kind of when stuff's sent and when it's supposed to arrive in theory, but you know, who knows? If somebody calls in sick at the dock, or you know, a truck driver makes a wrong turn or something, whatever, there's a lot of things that can happen between here or there that can alter our expectations of when things are going to arrive. So kind of we can't ever narrow it down too much. It arrives when it arrives, basically. Yes, I mean, nobody likes to hear that, but that is kind of the truth of it. Yes. But I mean, when people pre-order things, I mean, they like to. It's understandable. People like to know when they're gonna get the thing that they paid for. So, of course, we try to make sure that everyone's in the loop about that. But yes, sometimes we don't even know. And all we can tell you is to, as far as we know, this is when it's supposed to arrive. There's definitely like a couple of like tight pegs, especially because we're building like the core section. So that's why you might see me like pushing on some pegs and stuff. All right, my luck is rank, dude. My questions are being missed by one message at a time. Okay, sorry. Himodi, let me look. Himodi asked, are these kits typically most accessible through pre-order? If so, is it common for them to never be in stock normally for purchase? Usually for kits like this, we're getting like a good amount of them. And so if you don't pre-order, we usually will still have some available, like once they arrive in stock, if you're wanting to wait. That said, I mean, if you know you're going to buy it, then maybe don't take that risk. But you know, that's just kind of the risk that you run if you don't want to pre-order it. That's interesting. You're welcome. I didn't realize that for this part that there's an extra bit that needs to be wait. This kind of needs to be on here too. See if I can get this in. Like that. The other thing to consider is that these kits like this really don't get reprinted that much. Like it might be the case that we'll get we'll get some and then we'll get more, but it's not like it's not like a Bandai kit or something that gets reprinted every couple of years or something, you know, kind of depending on the kit. Sometimes it's much longer than a couple of years in the case of Bandai's reprinting schedule, but this part here that's kind of tight. Just want to make sure I get this in all the way. Contemplating if I want to whip out the pliers here for this. There's a couple of parts here in the midsection that we're just not wanting to kind of close up all the way, kind of a tight fit there. So just wanted to make sure to close that up. Melt the nubs down and make them into new molds. I think this wouldn't be a bad option for your first PG. Yeah. As you're seeing, like from the build, I mean, just from the start of the build here, there's some tight parts, which I remember certainly being a thing the first time around as well. So that's kind of another kind of reasons to why I'm saying like I don't think that this is actually a new mold. Because I think that's maybe something that they might have tweaked had they remade the mold essentially. But it's kind of one of those situations where especially in like the torso section, especially for the frame parts, you would rather them be a little tight than a little loose. So I mean, as long as you can get them to fit, because I mean, like if the problem was that like the part was super tight and you're just like squeezing it, and then you still like no matter what you do, you just can't get it to close up entirely. That can be a problem. That's harder to fix. This, if it's just a matter of the parts being kind of a tight fit on there, you know, it's not a big deal. As someone who takes years to build one kit, should I buy this right away? Yes, Chris. Absolutely. Chris, when are you guys gonna have me on your little podcast again? I miss Brian. I finish everything I get my hands on. That's very fortunate of you. So if any of you guys saw my post the other day, like a YouTube short post about like asking you guys which kit I should build next, because I got like a few different like third-party sample kits, a few other ones other than this, basically what to build next after this. Well, in the couple of days since that post, I've got a couple more sample kits, so I'm pretty overwhelmed at the moment. I'm like up to my ears in sample kits to build some of these different third-party kits. And someone made a comment. So yesterday over on my channel, I uploaded the review of the HG Gallus J, and someone commented like, "Oh, I'm glad he's back to building Bandai," because lately I've been building and reviewing more third-party kits like this. And I understand the sentiment, but yes, I mean, I'll always try to keep a balance, because I mean, of course, I'm going to be reviewing any new Bandai stuff as well, as far as just like what you can expect to see on my channel. I mean, the fact that I'm able to get early copies of a lot of these third-party kits and stuff like this is really cool. And so I'm like grateful for that, because these are coming like from the manufacturer, and so I enjoy getting to build these, especially getting to build them early is cool. But of course, there will always be Gunpla. And Kotobukiya, and everything else. So I'll still do my best to bring a good variety of things. Your choice got blown out of the water, David. What was it? The Cubile? Seems like, as I expected, most people were wanting the Harut. But then I think maybe I'd have to go back and look again. I think maybe the Cubile was in second after that. I mean, without actually counting everything. And so maybe the licorice was in last. Ooh. There's our core. What did you send me here, Chris? Oh, what about it? Why are you sending me this unicorn build? What is this? Oh, is that the Sazbi you were talking about? Oh, it's somebody made a... Okay, yeah. I think I do remember seeing that now. Somebody made like basically like a 1/35th scale, like an upscaled copy of that Sazbi build. Yeah, I didn't I think when I saw that, I just figured it was the original build. I didn't realize that it was a like scaled up copy of it. Uh-huh. That's interesting. Oh, I think I should have put this white part on first. It's gonna be a tight squeeze here, if I can get it in. Yeah. Oh no, now it went inside. Not gonna be able to get it out. Let's pull that off there. Now where'd it go? Okay. Like went like deep inside there or something. Completely lost. There we go. Best to put that on first. Otherwise it's kind of not gonna fit in there. All right. Love the Cubelate. Yeah, like I had mentioned in that video, the white, like regular Cubelate kit that they came out with, I didn't really like the look of that one quite like nearly as much. Definitely prefer the look of the Mark II design. Where is this piece? I was just looking at it a second ago, the piece that I need here for the back side of the torso. Here it is. That on there. The other thing that I didn't realize until someone pointed out in the comments was that it's another example of basically a stolen design, which is unfortunate. What's your hot takes on this kit? A hot take on this kit? Maybe it's just that, like I was saying before, not sure I believe that they destroyed the original mold and then remade it for this one. It's not the sense that I get. Not that that's a good or a bad thing. Either way, it's just I just don't believe that that's what happened. Basically. Okay, so there are a couple of other new parts, which is for this section here on the back, and I could tell that these were new parts added to basically help with the stability. I just wasn't exactly sure how, but now that I'm putting it together, I can see basically what it's just doing is just basically locking this part here at the back. It's basically locking the ab crunch so that basically there won't be any ab crunch, it would appear. Let's see. Before I speak too soon, let me just finish putting this together. Because maybe you can fold this down. Yeah, so you can, I guess, fold that down, and then you can still like move the ab crunch forward like that. And then it's kind of locked like that a bit more. Or like pop that up into place there, and then the ab crunch is locked. It won't bend forward at all. So I guess this was just kind of added to help with the stability. So that's cool. Kind of a cool new feature there. Just a couple of parts added on the back, basically. Nice. Oh, and then meant to leave that down while we put this part on. And these parts here. I do like these new colors. It's kind of shades of gray color scheme we have for this. There's going to be a little bit of a kind of like, well, you can see it a little bit right there. That kind of like tannish color. There's a little bit of that. Not a whole lot. Hello, Sensei. I watch all your videos. Thanks, Wolfpack. I appreciate it. That alone is making me want to pick it up. Just that extra part on the piece there, on the back of there, David. That's enough to sell you on it, huh? Yeah. It is nice. Where was I? Last couple of armor pieces here. Then we do have a few other bits still yet here on the torso. Like hatch cover. This center part in the middle of the torso is one that you have. Let's see. In a couple of different colors. You have it in orange, yellow, like beige, tan, or in this kind of gray color. So you can choose. I'm going with just off of what it says in the manual, although I do think it would look kind of cool maybe in that orange, yellow. Maybe. There's a couple of parts like that in the build that you have a couple of different options for the color just because they have like the same part on more than one runner. But I guess with that clear yellow part in the center, having that clear yellow in a orange yellow part maybe wouldn't look that good. I don't know. Is that okay? And this like little handlebar section here at the front. But I started airbrushing, finally doing a rough job on a 1963 car model kit. A car model kit's a rough thing to start with for airbrushing because that takes like more finesse, I feel like, than a Gundam kit would. Because you gotta like really make sure that you have the paint like really silky smooth. Whereas with Gunpla, I feel like you might have like a little more leeway. Especially if you're doing like a weathered build. So it's one of the perks of weathering. It's kind of like weathering can be used to basically hide your mistakes, essentially. But with the like car models, they're meant to be like very pristine, high gloss. I mean, I guess you could have like a weathered car model, but either I missed a piece or this piece actually goes on the waist and not on the torso. Oh, I did miss a piece. It goes right here. Is that to get on there? Oh, that's going like way back. Oh, this might be hard to get on there. Oh, that could be a problem. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so there's this piece that I missed putting on right up in there. I don't, oh, okay. It might not be a big deal. I think I can actually, just by bending this neck part up. Okay, whew. I can actually get it on there. No problemo. Nice. All right, so this is then meant to go on here like that. At an angle, head goes on the top, and there's our bust. Very nice. It does look really good. The little bits of yellow here in the vans for the Vulcans up at the head look nice in there, help break up all the shades of gray, but I do really like all the different color grays that we have here with this. Turn the page. I think we're going, oh yes, waist next, and then arms, and then legs. Let's go. Do you know if there are plans to get the orange Star Abyss or only the purple one? Maniac. So, yeah. I think... so originally on the website, we only had the purple and black one. But we are getting the orange and white one as well. It just wasn't up on the website yet, and we're only getting a very limited quantity of those. So last I heard yesterday, Adam was going to be putting that up on the website so that people can pre-order. I'm not certain if it is on there yet. And my nail is breaking in half. The middle one there. Are you going to review the FG 1/3 scale Mai Shionui? I don't know which kit is. I think there's more than one Mai Shionui kit. Wasn't one of them, if I remember correctly, was one that like we were supposed to get like a year ago, and it's been like just delayed forever from the manufacturer, and a lot of people have been very mad about it. I don't know if it's that one, the FG 1/3 scale kit, or if it's a different scale kit or something, but I do remember that us having some kind of problem with a Mai Shionui kit. Shionui Mai. Feels weird to say Mai Shionui. It's a what, Street Fighter or something, right? I don't know the game. Just like it's just like saying the name backwards. This feels odd. It's a highly detailed silicone figurine. Oh, I can only guess what highly detailed means. But no, to answer your question, no plans on getting and or reviewing that. But if it's a model kit, I might end up getting one as a sample in the mail. King of Fighters. Oh, sorry, Chris. Didn't mean to offend anyone. My lack of fighting game knowledge. Thank you for an update. I've been struggling to find order retailers. So yeah, I don't know. Maniac, just to go back to the Star Abyss kit, I don't know if it's just that the manufacturer's not putting out a large quantity of those or what. I don't know. But yeah, if you saw my post the other day, you saw that the orange version of this, the orange and white version of the Star Abyss, is the one that was sent to me as a sample for review. So that's what got like people asking, like, "Oh, are we actually getting that?" Or yeah. So I know that we are. I just don't know if it's on the website yet. If you guys check, you can let me know. I know it was. They were planning on putting it up on the website. I just don't know if it's up there yet. And we got some, these parts are being a little sticky. I'm just trying to get them into place. Not quite closed up yet. Have you been sent Blockies samples? No. That's one thing I've not. We don't carry them, for one. That would be the main reason. Hey. Trying to get this closed up. I can't quite squeeze because I can't figure out where the peg is that I need to squeeze. There's one peg that's not wanting to close up entirely. I'm not exactly sure which one. I think it's that one, which is right underneath a part which is like hard to push on because there's like a protrusion. But I think that's kind of enough. Let's see. Do you ever get review copies of a kit you don't want to build, or do you agree to build them when they send it out? Yeah, so I don't. How it's kind of a new thing. What's going on at the moment? So I don't know ahead of time. I think sometimes our supplier, kind of like our Chinese kind of go-between distributor, is sometimes letting Adam know what's being sent out, but either then Adam's not letting me know, or like he'll find out because like he'll get an email from the manufacturer and it's not like, hey, we sent this out. It's like, hey, the tracking shows this is about to arrive to you tomorrow, like that. And so like, so it'd be a short notice. But anyway, so no, it's not like I'm asking for specific things. This part's not wanting to stay in there. It's neither that I'm asking for specific things or like wanting specific things. There's definitely going to be some kits that I'm more interested in building than others, like personally. But how it is essentially at the moment, it's kind of a responsibility of mine to build just kind of like whatever they send, unless Adam were to tell me differently, like yeah, you don't really need to build that one or something like that. And yeah, the problem we're running into at the moment is that now I'm just getting kind of like overloaded with things. But I mean, like I said, it's cool to be able to get this stuff early, so you kind of want to try to keep up with it as much as possible. All right. But I think ideally, what would be best is if we could just, ask for specific things, which I think is maybe an option. But at the moment, it's just kind of like they're just sending over everything, almost. Not everything, but a lot of stuff. And like different products come from different factories and things like that. So like, for example, haven't gotten any like motor nuclear stuff as of yet. So that's one like a brand that I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing, that I'm getting like samples of motor nuclear stuff as well. Hi, Zach. Has your opinion on the MG FAS Verka changed since your original review? I wouldn't think so. And so the new full armor double Zeta is going to basically just be the same as the FAS. It'll just have the enhanced double Zeta parts for like the shoulders, the feet, and a few other bits underneath the armor, underneath like the full armor. And what else? It's got the head of the double Zeta and the double beam rifle of the double Zeta. So yeah, it's just like an amalgamation. And so I expect that it'll be really good. Nice. Yeah, so you can basically, if you want to like preview my review of the full armor double Zeta, you can go back and just watch my review of the FAS basically, and then maybe the double Zeta as well, because it's essentially just a combination of the two of those kits with some enhanced double Zeta parts thrown in as well, which I've not built or reviewed, but it's basically just optional parts for like a few bits of the kit. I think like shoulders, feet, the parts on the like the wing parts on the side of the forearm, the backpack. I don't know what else. That might be about it. Maybe there's something more, but not a lot. I'm I'm looking forward to that kit, though. I mean, it looks cool. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Lupus. I mean, we're still waiting to get our Barbatos Lupus over here. You know, I think we're probably like the last store in the US to get our shipment of MG Barbatos Lupus kits from Bandai. So that's fun. Alright, I'm gonna jump ahead here and go ahead and attach the hip section onto the torso. It's looking real good, I gotta say. Very nice. We're not done with this section yet, but let me see here. Do you think the full armor would be easy to disassemble for painting? Oh, sorry, the Flugel. Flugel would be easy to disassemble for painting afterwards, or would you recommend painting first? This kit, it wouldn't be bad to disassemble, I think. I've definitely built like the Solaridian, for example. If I could put other like third-party kits that like I would absolutely not recommend building first. This little yellow bit here in the front, I'm afraid is gonna fall out. I'm gonna put some glue on that. It's just a little loose. This is not one of those that I think would be like a nightmare to disassemble. But just probably just due to like how complex it is, it might be a good idea to just paint it first before assembling. But if you're comfortable with it, I know some people, like myself, I'm comfortable with like my skills in being able to disassemble a kit carefully. But I know other people that just like when they try disassembling stuff, they just break lots of parts. So, you know, you're the best judge of your own skills as to whether you feel like you could disassemble it safely or not. I feel like I wouldn't have much issue with this, disassembling it, but just because of the size and complexity, if I were to paint it, probably I would just paint it before assembly and just kind of save myself the trouble. Will US Gundam Store have the next Mechanicore kit for pre-order later this year? The new Zeal Nexus. I've not even seen anything about that. I'd be curious to know that myself. I don't know. I would assume yes, because we did have the not Nightingale, the Firehawk. So I would assume the answer is yes, but I cannot say for sure. That would be an Adam question. Adam! Let's see if he hears me. I'm pretty sure he's in the office, which is the other side of the door. See if I can get him to come in here. It sounds like he might have heard me. Yeah, I wondered if you heard me or not. Someone's asking if we're gonna have the next Mechanicore kit up for pre-order. New Zeal. Have you even seen anything about that?
It's like the O, right? Don't want to be O.
New Zeal. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
They said New Zeal.
I don't know. Like there hasn't been a lot of information for
that yet.
Yeah. But if we
had the Firehawk, so.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Mechanicore, was it?
It
was like the other company that's like Mechanicore. I don't remember.
Yeah, kind of.
Odds are yes.
Same difference, but yeah.
Odds are yes.
Okay.
See our other one came in?
What other one? Yeah. And the other box too that has the Baki I was talking about. But not the SNA kit though still.
No? It wasn't in there?
Nope. But the Baki and something else. Alright. So there you go. Yes, you heard it. Well, in case you didn't hear it, yeah, the answer is yes, probably. We will be getting that new Mechanicore kit, whether it's Mechanicore or not. I mean, it's might be under a different name, but you can tell it's like from like the same team, right? This part is like very loose in here. I know it's not going to be loose ultimately once we get this next part on there, but it feels weird having that like that. I'm glad that that summoning by yelling through the wall worked. There we go. Now it's not loose, and now that opens up like that. This is for the back skirt. And we've got similar ones that are for like the side skirts, sort of sides of the legs. Check your Discord, Zach. Oh. Should I? Oh. Oh, it's Josh. Okay, I didn't see the name on that, or I didn't read your name there on YouTube. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that certainly is the new Zeal. Yes, the new Mechanicore kit here. And it is actually Mechanicore, isn't it? Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. So I skipped the Firebird, whatever, Firehawk. I don't know. Kind of over it. Those kits, I was collecting them, and just I've got a few. Even like sold one already. And I'm about to sell the other one, Josh. Right? But yeah, I don't know. They're just too much work for me for something like that. So it's not for me. I do like the new Zeal, like as a design. I'll have to look at that more closely, like when it's closer to coming out, if I can be sure if that's something that I'm actually going to want or not. I'm not sure. All right, so there's that. How about SMP? I don't know. What do you mean SMP? Like sim? Like what are the chances that you'll be able to review the MG Barbatos Lupus expansion set? You're talking about like an expansion set like from Bandai? I'm not sure what the set is that you're referring to. Oops, that's not it. Okay, this part seems like it's meant to close up all the way. As you can see, it keeps popping open. And I wish it wouldn't do that. But let's see. I think this other one will not. I think I know what the problem is. Nope, that's not it. The P Bandai MG Lupus that comes with the giant sword. Oh, yeah. I've not pre-ordered it, and I mean, is it even available for pre-order on the US P Bandai site? I did yesterday break down and finally pre-order the yeah, see, this one's staying closed. I know what the problem is with the other one. I'll fix that here just a second. I finally did break down and pre-order the Hazel Icarus unit HG. The Barbatos, MG Barbatos set, I'm not sure if is that on there? Yeah. This part's not on there, that's why. But I don't know. What else comes in that set? I know it's the big sword and like the effect part, like for the eye, right? Is that it? If that's basically all it is, then probably not. The part is why this part is not fitting on here properly, so I'm just trying to figure out what I need to move in order to get that on. I'm thinking what it might be is that there's like a little piece of nub stuck up in there. I'm gonna pop that off and investigate. I don't see anything that would be getting in the way. Looks clear. So it should fit. Let's try this again. Shoulder effect. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not all that interested in that, to be honest. Finish that with big sword, lighting eyes, big arm cannons. Oh yeah, the arm cannons too. I'm also just kind of meh. So probably not then. Sorry to say. So here's our back skirt, our butt boosters. I'm gonna have to zoom out. Whoop, by the way. There we go. And it's, again, gonna have to be very careful of that part there for the head. Set that to the side there. Onto the arm. Don't look at my nasty toothbrush over here. Arms. If we can get through the arms and maybe at least one of the legs done, I'd be pretty happy with that for our progress today. That's, I think, probably more than half, because I mean the wings are going to take a little bit. There's a lot there going on with the wings. I don't know. The legs are a lot of parts as well. The arms also, I mean, as you can see here, this is all the parts for one arm. That's also including like the shoulder and everything else. Any chance the monument repair will get a restock? I'd love to get both versions. I don't think so. But you would think that since they made this kit, that they would just kind of at the same time take an opportunity to reprint the monument repair as well. I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, it would make sense, but I've not heard. Yeah. The expansion set sold out. Yeah. Sword, IFX, grenade missile launchers, hands for the big sword, base to support the big sword, damaged armor. Yeah, no, I mean, like, the big sword would be kind of cool, maybe, but that's, like, the only thing, really, that I would be all that interested in, I imagine, so probably not. Arms. Okay, we got these big shoulder parts. We can put those up there, out of the way. And start with this part. And this, and that. blowing out the parts because there's like nub dust inside them. All right. There's a couple of sections here for the arm that you basically kind of build, and then it all just kind of fits together. Mm-hmm. But hey, in other news, I'll let you guys know something else. Later today, here on this channel, on the USA Gundam TV channel, I've got a video that I've got going up on this channel, which is going to be counting down the top 10 like third-party releases of 2025. So on my channel, I did the top 10 Gunpla releases of 2025, and then so for the top 10, I've never done like a top 10 third-party releases video before, just because I just like wasn't as interested in the kits in the past, but especially over this past year, I've had the opportunity to build more of them, and I think they've just been better quality as well. So this year I thought it would make sense to do a video going over the top 10 third-party kits as well. And so I thought, why not do that on the USA Gundam TV channel, on this channel. So you can find that video here on this channel later today. That'll be up. I gotta upload it, but everything's all done. Everything. It's just not ideal to have a video uploading at the same time that I'm trying to do a live build. Usually it messes with the video quality. We want to try to avoid that. Top 10 paint set when? I don't know. How would that even work? Paint set? You mean like paint brands or something? You already know what it is for the top paint brands. Some of these guys aren't even third party anymore. They're just independent. Yeah, that's the thing, Chris. That's I mean, I've thought about that as well, and that's why I kind of have been trying to kind of get the original mecha model like naming a little bit more into the zeitgeist, but I don't know if it's really kind of catching on. And I mean, there's like a few different kind of like shades in the releases that are coming out, and yeah, third party has never really been like the correct name, like for a kit like this even too, but it's just kind of at this point it's just like so colloquially recognized as like, okay, it may not be the right word, but people know what you're talking about. So it's kind of hard to avoid and hard to get past using it. It's just like kind of just common nomenclature, I guess, at this point. So at any rate, yes, you are correct. Ah! left a part out of this. Here it is. We do have some new parts for the shoulders here as well, in particular like the outer parts of the shoulder and the connection pieces here for the weapons. Army Painter release masterclass set chapter 3 and 4. When will you release for shipping? Also, is the build a tight fit? There are certainly some parts that are a tight fit, but as I was saying before, I mean, you would kind of prefer the parts to be at least a little tight because you don't want stuff. You don't want stuff being too loose, especially with a big, heavy kit like this. That's not right. But as far as when this will release, yeah, so as I was saying earlier, I think that this one we're due to get later in February. So I think in like the second half of February. It seemed like, based on what I heard briefly on this, that it was not like soon, not like in the first half of February. I would say probably the second half, if not towards the end of February, just to like err on the safe side so that people aren't getting too anxious about it. But not too far off. Not too far away. Waiting to see when this is a new part here for the shoulder. I'm like, when are we gonna finally put this part on? And here it is. Right here, it goes on the top. So kind of similar like the Tall Geese 3, which this is based off of, essentially. It's got that like kind of extra layer of armor that just kind of goes, basically fits on top around the regular armor of the shoulder. That sounded like it broke, and I was worried for a second there that it did break something, but it's not. It's just that this part can't quite, it's a tight squeeze getting this part in there. There we go. Like that. And so that just fits around there like so. That piece there. Pretty cool. Nice. Okay, we've got hand parts and this connection part. Let's get this here. That's this. These are the same, I'm guessing, except that they do look slightly different. Oh, we didn't put this part on here. When did I miss that? No. Build going well so far. Yeah. Yep. I didn't really, and like, so I was thinking about this ahead of time. Like, because I've built this kit before, I expect that will make the build this time around go a little bit quicker. But I was feeling like, well, that normally like might be the case. The problem is that like it's been a while since I built the kit the first time around, and I don't really remember the build that much. So I was trying to think about like what I remembered from the build, and I honestly just like didn't really remember much. So, but now that I'm actually building it, now it is kind of ringing some bells for me, and I am kind of remembering like, oh yeah, I do remember like some of these parts like being kind of tight. But ultimately, I remember like being very impressed and very happy with the results. And I think like at the time, is that just supposed to be like that? So if this is like that, wait a minute. I think I had that right the first time around. Huh? Like this. What was I saying? Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. So if you look at this here, this part, I was wondering why it had that little like peg sticking out there. So when this is actually attached into the arm, that will fit into there as a kind of little peg that fits into there as like a locking mechanism, so that when you have the weapon slung and like you're not using this extension arm, it won't like this extension arm, which needs to hold up the weight of the weapon, if you're not using it in hand. So if you're using it in the hand, you would have the support of the hand on the weapon, and you wouldn't be solely relying on this connection arm. But when not in hand, being able to plug that into there will give you a little bit added security, which will be nice. Just seeing it, how much exactly that pushes into there. Yeah, so that's cool. I like that. So some nice new features here, to be sure. Oop. That's not going to work. There we go. Like that. Trying to be very cautious about the fin on the head. Okay. Hand option parts. And fortunately, the hand covers are all different, which I appreciate. I would want them to either be... Excuse me. I'd want all the hand parts either to be like all the same, so that it's very easy to do, like when assembling them like this, so it's easy to distinguish which parts go to which ones. I'm not having to like plug them in and like guess. So it's nice that in this case, you don't have to do that. Either the hand cover parts and like the different parts for the hand options either need to be all the same or all different in a way that's obvious and easy to figure out. And so like in this case with the hand covers, each hand covers has a different shape fit into. This one has like a long peg, the other one had a short peg, the other one had two small circle pegs. Much appreciated. So we've got fists, No, we're kind of zoomed out a bit. Closed fist, weapon holding hands, and open hands for this. Next arm. I'm gonna try to get this other arm built and then at least one of the legs for today. That'll be pretty good. Does the manual show you what runners to use for the section that you're building? No, unfortunately not. You guys know that I do like that, but this one doesn't, unfortunately. So what Mr. Savage is referring to, if you guys are not aware, I'll show you here. Just a second. Got these parts in hand that I know are needed for the first step, and I know if I put them down, it'll be hard to find them again. There's that. So like here, for example, like for the arms, it would be nice if like right here it said like the runners that are used for the arms, like A, C, F, G, H, like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't do that. Yeah. I wish that it did. I really like that in manuals just because like for the way that I build it, I mean, for most people, it probably doesn't make any difference. For the way that I build, and especially the way that I prepare parts, like especially for like a live build like this, it does make it easier. Another thing I will also point out is that runner list, it does not have X's over the parts that are not used. So there are a few parts that are not used, but they're not X'd off in the manual. I wish that they would have done that, because that also just kind of makes it that much easier to know what's not going to be used and what you're going to use. Especially if you haven't built the first one, then you would be less familiar. Like for me, I've built the kit once before, so like there was a lot of parts that like once I was actually looking at the runners and everything, I was recognizing a lot of the parts and everything. And I was able to recognize like, oh, that's a part that I know is not going to be used for this because it's a part for like the original head crest, for example. That's a pretty easy to recognize example, but you guys get what I mean. I do wish that they would have done that for this release. Put X's on the parts in the manual that are not used. Ew, what up? What up, man? Nilson works manual like the older Bandai manuals from the 2000s. Depends on kind of what you mean, I guess. Not exactly. It's not like the old. It's not like the old Bandai manuals. There's like some like older Bandai manuals that I just really am not a fan of. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just the manual. It's not like a big deal. I don't really getting upset about it, but there's the manuals where I don't really know how to describe it, but they'll have like vertical columns. It's more like traditional Japanese text. So I think why they were designed like that, because for a Japanese person that kind of makes more sense, but I think like in the current format of how they do now is kind of more like international. But yeah, it used to be like in some of the older ones, you'd have like a vertical column of assembly and then like sub-assemblies here like on the side. It was kind of strange. I think strange. I don't prefer that manual layout. That's for sure. But yeah, if that's what you're talking about, as far as like older Bandai manuals in comparison, then I mean, yeah. I'm just glad they include a stand. Bandai loves to not include them. Yeah. Well, we were talking about that on the last live stream, I think it was. Adam and I, if I remember correctly, that, you know, Bandai, you know, to the best of our knowledge, and it seems the most obvious and probably true answer is that I mean, they sell action bases separately. So the point is, because they want people to just buy action bases separately, rather than if they give them in every kit, then nobody's going to buy the action bases separately if they're getting them with the kit already. And so, you know, Bandai makes more money by selling the items separately. But what I think this is what we were talking about in the last live stream, was that that does also seem to be probably the main reason as to why they don't sell, or why they don't include waterslide decals in a lot of kits as well. And like the point that we were talking about is that like much fewer people are like buying the waterslide separately. It probably would be just better for them to just include them with the kits, because it's just a much smaller number of people that are wanting to buy those separately. And where, yeah, it's a money-making opportunity for them to sell them separately, but probably I think that there's a lot more fans that would just be happy to have them included. But I don't know. That is like a Western perspective. I think maybe there are more people that, you know, per capita people that are buying, you know, Bandai products. There's probably more people that are buying the Bandai's decals and stuff there in Japan, I suppose. I don't know. But yeah, that's the deal with action bases. Action bases, I assume, I mean, because I do know that for sure that those do sell well just as a separate item, so that's probably just going to stay like that forever. Thank you for your reviews. You're welcome. Gradient Beam. You're welcome. When will USA Gundam Store have the 7 Deadly Sins Greed back in stock? Oof, I don't know about that. That's not one that I would think that we might ever have back in stock. I don't know that for sure. It may be up for pre-order on the site now. Maybe we are getting more for sure, but I don't know that. As far as I know, none of those kits usually get reprinted. I could be wrong. It has happened. Does this build like a PG? Yeah, sort of. Just kind of depends on what PG you're talking about. Because like the PG Unleashed RX-78 builds very differently from the original RX-78 PG. And like the PG Exia builds very differently from the PG Banshee or like Unicorn even. So just in terms of like the complexity and it having a lot of parts and it having a big size, in that sense, yeah, it's like a PG. It is probably quite similar to building the PG Exia, I guess. It does kind of remind me of that a bit. I don't get why Bandai can't include waterslide decals in Gundam kits when they include them with the 1/72nd scale Messiah kits, the Macross kits he's talking about. They came with both stickers and waterslide decals. Yeah, I think it's a little bit different. I mean, I agree that they should. Much more than they do. I mean, definitely, I'm with you on that. I think with Macross, it is a little bit different just because of the nature of those. I think when they choose like which kits are going to have decals included or not. I think they are thinking about who's going to be buying the kit, whereas with Macross, I think they're calculating the target audience for those kits to be a little bit older, a little bit more interested in like the like military models, with Macross kits being essentially like aircraft model kits basically. And it's just kind of more standard. Unfortunately, I mean, I wish it was a standard for Gundam kits to include auto sights as well, but it's just kind of not really, at least from Bandai anyway. But for aircraft, it is the standard, and I think kind of makes sense if you think about it like that. It's a shame that we can't sell P Bandai. Had to get my MG Flugel on Amazon. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be kind of cool if like Bandai made premium kits more available to more stores, but then I guess it would kind of defeat the purpose. So the purpose is that they're supposed to be limited in terms of like the availability of like where and when you can get them. And if they were just like making them available to like all their customers, basically their retail customers, then yeah, just kind of like just defeating the purpose of it being a premium Bandai kit. It's not like limited in where you can get it. That being said, I mean, they have done that where they had kits that were premium Bandai kits in Japan, but they were just released as standard release model kits here in the US, just meaning that they were distributed to retail stores. Just getting these hands together, then we'll get the arm on, and then we'll get onto the legs. And like I said, I think we'll probably build one of the legs, and then that'll probably be it for today. And then we'll be back tomorrow to either I'll finish the second leg off camera, which is probably the most likely thing, and then tomorrow's live build will basically just then focus on the weapons and the backpack, which is kind of the majority of new parts. Probably the more interesting of the live streams if you're mostly interested in seeing what's new about this version of the kit. But there's the top half. It does look really, really good though. I mean, just building this kit again, seeing it just kind of in hand again, because I see the other one, it's in the storefront display here. I see it all the time. But this one, I mean, just seeing it like in hand again is giving me the feels of just how nice the kit is. Yeah, I know that I'm bending the head in an odd way, but again, it's just to kind of move that off to the side so that the crest doesn't get damaged. It is looking amazing. It's a big boy. Yes. Hello, Petit Cherry. Welcome. Yes, the turn red. You're talking about like the MGs that I was referring to that were premium Bandai kits in Japan that were standard release here. There's the turn red MG Astray, the XN Riser or the Sunriser. I feel like something else too. I know there was one other thing. I don't think it was just those two. So, number of small parts. Oops. Meant to not take those parts out of there yet. Put those back, just to not clutter myself here. I separated the parts for like the main leg and then the part for like the thruster side skirt part that attaches on the side of the leg. I separated those parts just so I wouldn't overcrowd myself here. Love the helmet detail. Yeah, the head design does look really nice on this. Okie dokie. I guess it would help if I turn to the page. Up in there. There we go. This is our ankle joint. Oh my. Running out of space here. And this is not even all the... There's a handful of leg frame parts that just wouldn't fit in my box that I had to put all to the side there. So I've got a bunch of frame parts here to the leg for the leg over to the side. But the ankle joint and foot parts are first, fortunately, so we can kind of get these parts built and out of the way before we then move on to the main section of the leg. That part there for the thruster on the underside. And there should be, there it is. That there. Oof. There we go. Hey, what up, Patrick? If the fit pretty much the same as the previous version where you had to be kind of careful about where you pressed parts together to avoid stress marks. Yeah, kind of. I feel like the plastic with this one, so the plastic is pretty soft, for sure. So there is that. Yes, but I feel like it's like pressing the parts together. I'm more worried about, because of the plastic being a bit soft, if like this part here, it's gonna be kind of hard to show you guys, but let's see. Like if you were pressing this the wrong way or something, and then like this like edge here, this line right there, if you like pressed it in the wrong way or something like that, you'd damage that edge there pretty easily, because with the plastic being a bit soft. So that's something that I would worry more so than about stress marks, because as for the stress marks on it, the plastic, although it's rather soft, it's rather thick. And stress marks usually would be something you'd have to worry about more if the plastic is kind of on the thinner side, which is not the case with this. The plastic's pretty thick on these parts, and so I don't think that you would really have to worry too much about stress marks. There are definitely some bits that are they're tight fits, especially on frame parts. But not in like a bad way. I mean, like some people don't like having to press hard on anything. But I don't think it's anything that's like, yeah, bad for the kit. I don't know. I know it's going to be very repetitive, as is something that I've been saying a lot throughout the stream, but yeah, I would rather have, especially for the frame parts, I would rather have it be a bit tighter. So there's our foot. I like it. But yeah, the fit, I mean, otherwise, if you've built the first version of the kit, Patrick, yeah, the fit does seem to be pretty much the same. I mean, I was talking about earlier that I wasn't sure if the rumors were true about them, you know, allegedly having destroyed the mold of the original one and then would have had to remade the mold for this version of the kit. I don't think that's the case. It does not seem like that. Oh, sorry. Getting excited about putting these big chunks of the leg frame together. I was just doing it off camera. There's no use in that. Also, will you build the in-era Fenrir? You know I'm a big Infinite Dimensions in-era fan. Yes, I know that you are. I probably will, just if we're staying on the same path now. I mean, oops, stop, don't push that together yet. I'm getting more of these early samples from the manufacturers there in China and through our kind of distribution. So assuming that I'm going to be getting an early sample of that kit, then yeah, that means that I will be building it, whether I like it or not. Because honestly, I know a lot of people do like those designs. It's not really one of my favorites, but oh, that's also backwards. That's not good. Glad I caught that before messing that up any further. There have certainly been kits where I felt like I wasn't that into the design, and then once I built the kit, I really kind of came around to it. It's hard to recall, but I think maybe that was even the case with the original Monument. I think that was another one where I was like not particularly like super excited to build one, but then afterwards I was like, wow, that was actually really nice. Where's the other half of this piece? Hiding somewhere? Hello? Hello? Just have it in a different section. Is our mutual friend still the China kit liaison? Yes, Chris. The answer is yes. But I don't think that he's necessarily in charge of like what's getting sent early for me. Or what I mean is that I don't think that like he's dictating that. I think it's more so that he let the people know over there that we want early samples over here, and they're just kind of doing that. Okay. Ugh. More frame bits. Legs getting very heavy. Where's that? Very detailed too, as you can see. This kit looks so great. Big fan of the Tallgeese 3. Any update on when the Wolf Tech Rex, the Barbatos Lupus, any of the farmers new Gundam? No. Took a little bit of translating to read that one, interpreting. Yeah, just I mentioned this earlier, but just to restate this for anybody, yeah, it's coming in later. This kit is we're expecting, and later in February, probably in like the second half or near the end of February. As for the Barbatos Lupus MG from Bandai, that was supposed to be here over a month ago, and we're just waiting on Bandai on that one. But I think that that's last I heard, I think that was shipped, and so it's on the way to us now. And I think at the moment the estimation would probably be like end of this week that it's going to arrive here. And then so that means that I mean, depending on if that's like Thursday or Friday, if it's Friday, then those might not start shipping out then until Monday. I really like this. It's really cool, this like vent detail there that you're basically just like capping off there like that. That's cool. What was the other thing you asked about? Let's see. You asked about the Lupus, the Wolf technology, and yeah, the new Gundam. Yeah, the new Gundam. That one, I don't think that I can say exactly. Yeah, I don't know what I can say about that. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. We're getting them, and I think like relatively soon in the grand scheme of things, like not soon like from now, but like soon after like the Japan release date, where normally there would be a little bit more kind of time in between. In the case of that kit, I think there won't be much time in between the Japan release date and when we have it here, fortunately. So that's good news. Huh? Wait, that's not that. I should be being careful not to miss anything here. Do you remember when Adam said, Bandai said that PG New was supposed to be on its way? Was that during the last live stream? I don't remember exactly what was said in the last live stream, but yeah, I don't know. Without knowing what's okay to say about that, I'll just say that it's not bad. I don't know the way I'm kind of dancing around it may sound like it's like bad news. It's not like bad news like our order was canceled from Bandai or anything like crazy like that. It's just that when we're expecting them has changed a couple times back and forth, and it's not due to any fault of ours, but we're gonna get them. We'll get them when we get them, but the good news is that we will get them relatively soon, I think. All right. The less said, the better. Well, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. You know what's crazy, though? What's really crazy about the PG New? The most crazy thing, which I think is something that I can tell you. In fact, it might even be better to tell you guys. The really crazy thing is, so if you guys remember from the Black Friday sale, there was, we had a bunch of stuff that was given away for the Black Friday sale. So basically, any order that you guys made during the sale placed you into the giveaway pool, basically. And then on the live stream in the middle of December, which I think it was December 13th, if I remember correctly, we drew winners for the giveaway. And the person who was selected to win the PG New, which was like the grand prize from the giveaway, that person has not responded to any contact. And so what we're probably then going to have to do is re-roll the winner for the PG New. So I think our customer service team has attempted to call and email that person multiple times and gave them a warning like, hey, if we don't hear from you by this date, then we're gonna have to re-roll a different winner for that kit. And I think the date was today that they had in order to respond. So that's not good for that person. Good news for everybody else that you've got another chance to win that kit. Yes, so definitely check your email, check your spam, check, whatever. Check that live stream out, because I don't remember the person's name, but we said not the full name, but we said the person's first name during the live build. Or not the live build, sorry, just the live stream. Adam and I, on that December live stream. Been trying to reach out to that person, and we can't give away something if the person doesn't respond. Man, can you imagine finding that out later? The person checks their email a week later and sees that email. Man, is the name John Gumpla? No, it is not. I think the name would be John Regret. So when you say that the tightness of the joints makes it good for poses, yes. Just makes it more stable overall, which is, good for posing. Just kind of feels more solid in hand. Whoops, it's the other side. That is a chunky leg. Oh, let's not forget this part here at the bottom. And the foot, might as well. Hefty. All right. We got the booster here on the side of the leg. Really, that guy didn't claim it yet? No, he did not. So I don't know exactly how or when we're going to go about drawing a new winner for that. I think probably just during the next live stream with Adam and I, which should be not this Friday, but the next Friday. So yeah. So I guess if that person was already told that, they were already given to a certain date to claim that, which is already passed. But I don't know, assuming that they get in touch before we draw a new winner, I guess that might still be accepted, but I can't say for sure. I'm not in charge of that. But yes, just for God's sake, check your email. What's up, Jim? How are you doing? You see that that Tim's almost back. Well, I guess he is back, right? He did do his first live stream back. I wasn't able to watch, and I haven't gone back and watched that. I've been meaning to. But Tim's back. So Jim, you got to be back too, and then we can have everybody back. Well, Simon and Justin. Justin's still like doing some stuff here and there, model kit wise. Every once in a while, I feel like I'll see him working on a little something. Simon, I haven't seen work on anything for a while though. I'm not sure what's going on with Simon. Haven't heard much. I did hear from Ed maybe about a month or 2 months, about a month ago, I think probably it was. I heard from Ed that he was getting back into building some Gunpla, which was cool. So he was, I don't remember what it was he was asking me. He was asking me something. I think something about something. I don't recall now suddenly at the moment that I'm thinking of it, but it was good to hear from Ed. Is that this? Oh yeah, right. What happened to Alex? Alex is just kind of doing his thing. He's just not doing Gunpla. Well, we were there in Korea. Met up with Alex and his new lady friend, but he's just working. He's working as I'm not sure what his official title is, because I think it might maybe change depending on the production, but he's working on like a lot of like different like film production and like film and show productions there, like in Korea, like with Netflix and stuff like that. So I don't know if he's like officially like Netflix Korea employee or just like basically like a contractor, essentially just doing like a PD work, or not the PD but like grip work, I think mostly, and then like I think sometimes he was like driving for them as well, like when they would have to like pick up the actors or the talent basically, or whatever, doing that kind of stuff. Cool stuff. And he's like meeting all these different celebrities and all that. Jet setting, visiting Italy is where he met his current girlfriend. I don't know, I won't get into maybe too much of his private life, but yeah, he's doing good. This to put this part here on the side of the leg, you have to like there's a peg and a ball joint that have to fit together at the same time, and it's kind of tricky. I think I got it. Oh no, I did not. Got the peg, which I think is, or the ball joint, which is maybe the harder part. Okay. Nope. I like that. And something feels something feels off with this part here on the side. I feel like I have something wrong here. Yeah, I'm sure that I do. I think I have that. This one top part is not quite in all the way. try to get this off. I need tweezers. Don't make me miss OG Running Man again. It's this part that's like not quite in there, right? Don't know why. That's still not right. It's gonna bother me now. Just gonna take this off entirely. When in doubt, just take it off. Try again. So yeah, while I'm trying to get this part on here right, because I feel like something's not quite right. Well, that's totally right. And this part's totally right, isn't it? Yep. While I'm doing this, any last questions or anything for today's build? As I mentioned earlier, this is where we're going to call it for today in terms of the progress. The second leg, I'll probably just build off stream, and then tomorrow we'll just come back and basically it'll be just a matter of finishing everything. Finishing the wings and the weapons. Oh yeah, I think that's probably what's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. So the manual, I've come across this a couple times. There's a couple of parts in the manual where like normally in like a Bandai kit, they will tell you like to assemble this section first, or like put this part on first and then this part on second. They do not tell you that in this manual, but there's now been a couple of times where I've noticed that you definitely need to put the parts on in a certain order. And it's unfortunate that that's not more clear. But like this was an example of where basically these two large sections here, this kind of darker gray bit and this like beige bit here, the beige part needs to go on first, and then that darker part needs to go on after that, because of the way they fit together there where they meet. The beige part needs to be under the darker gray part. So something to keep in mind. Anyway, let's put this leg on here. I'll make sure this is on all the way. I can't get a good grip on it. Can't figure out where I want to grip it to get the best force on there. But there we go. Yeah, I'm very worried about the crest on the head. It's very thin, very fragile little parts. But there's progress so far with the one big, very thick, very chunky leg. Very white. Heal up. Ooh, see, there's that. Ugh, that fin scratching. Ugh. No, I'm gonna break that or damage it or something. I might just leave the head off until it's like all done, just to be cautious. Make a size comparison. Here's the HGUC Xiong. Doing one of these with this hand. They're like that. Oh, stop. Yeah, So that's it for this live stream. Tune in the same time tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time. We'll finish this up with the wings and the weapons, and then I'll have the review coming out for you guys shortly after. But that's it for today. Thanks so much. If you guys, I believe we still have pre-order spots available for this. If you're interested, you can check it out. The link is down there below the website. Yes, used to say stay safe, now stay dangerous is exactly right. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.